Right, this is just one continuing from the last couple where we've done point-to-point tunneling protocol and layer 2 tunneling protocol. So I'm just going to quickly set up on my client. I'm going to set up secure socket tunneling protocol, and I'm just going to add it to my one here. And now I can see those. And again, I'm just going to use split tunneling on this one. And now when I get connection, I've got it again. So this one's just going to, again, there's just a few more things we need to add. So I'm just going to grab my main server. I'm going to just quickly minimize that, and I've got to add quite a few other roles and features to make it so that this now works. So this one's the more complicated one, the one where we've got to get the certificate revocation list and get it so it's all working. So I'm going to install the Windows feature, and I need to use the AD certificate. Well, I need ADCS cert authority. I need ADCS web enrollment, and I need to include the management tools as usual. So I'm just going to let that install, and then there's just a few things I need to do after it's installed. So this one, because of how it's got quite a few roles, might take a little while to get through. But secure socket is by far the most, well, secure as you would expect from the name. Out of the ones which we've done so far. Right, it's getting there, it's almost finished. Just up to almost 90%. As with a load of things and this that I've done on this video, you probably wouldn't be installing these all on the same server. You'd probably have loads of virtualized servers. Unfortunately, at the moment, my new server isn't kind of set up yet, so I'm just using the laptop. So I can only run up to 3 virtual machines before it causes major problems. So hence using the same one. Okay, right, I'm just going to install the ADCS certification authority, and I'm going to specify what the CA type is, which is an enterprise one, and I want to perform the action and install all of these. Okay, if it's error ID 0, that means it's been successful. Okay, and then I've just got to also install my ACDS web enroll. Oops, I'm not spelling very well. Right, web enrollment. And that's because I've misspelt Active Directory Certification Services, which kind of makes sense. Right. There we go. Just a spelling error. And we've got the error ID 0, which means it's been successful. Right. And so we've installed everything ready for when we do it. So the first thing which we've got to do next is request the computer certificate. So to do this, I'm just going to run. I'm going to go into my nice little management console. I'm going to add the certificates for the computer. I'm going to use the computer account, and I want it the local computer. So there I go. I've got it, and I'm just going to go to my personal, my certificate, and I'm going to I'm going to just get rid of that one for the minute. And then I'm just going to add, I'm going to request a new certificate. So I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to go for the domain controller one, and I'm going to enroll. There we go. So I've got my certificate. And next I'm going to go back onto my routing and remote access, and I'm just going to go back onto my properties, security, and I'm going to look for my SSL binding, and I'm going to pick the certificate I've just made. Okay, so it's going to restart again. So it's just going to take its time to restart. And so we've got the certificate ready, so we know that it's on the right certificate. Next, I'm just going to come back out. I'm going to go to my certificate authority one, and I'm going to go onto my properties, go to my extensions, and then I'm going to select my HTTP, and I'm going to include in CRLs and include in the CDP. And I'm going to apply. And I'm just going to go OK. Right, so and that's, I'm just going to go onto my revoked one. I'm going to do all tasks and my publish, and I'm just going to add a new one for the revoked to create the revoked certificate list. Should pop up in a second, and I'm going to publish another one on the Delta. I'm just waiting. Right, I'm just going to try closing it and reopening it to see why the revoked ones haven't appeared yet. Right, it looks like if there might just be a slight error on here. I'll just triple check that I've ticked the bits which I wanted to. Yep, so they're all there. All the bits which I wanted to tick. That essentially what I'm trying to do is just create this, which the base one contains the complete list of all revoked certificates, and the Delta one contains the recent change, so the CRL, the certificate revocation list. Right, that should hopefully pop up later. I'm going to just give it a little while and just see. Might be that it wants me to just specify some other bits before it'll allow me to. So it already, I'm going to cancel that wizard. Okay. I'm just going to refresh just to make sure that it's all done. That seems to be much happier. Right, let's just get back to my certification authority and see whether it's created. Well, I'll just try one more time, otherwise it's going to be in another video. But it's just deciding, so I'll have to work out why that's deciding not to like it today. Right, I'm just going to quickly swap over to my Pt1, the one which I was using as the client, and I'm going to go onto the certificate authority on here. So you can see my SSTP one. Right, I'm just going to copy the certificate off here. So I'm just going to go onto there, I'm going to properties, and I'm just going to view the certificate, and I'm just going to copy it to the file, to a file, to export it. And I'm just going to put this just in my C drive, and I'll make a new folder and just call it certificates. Certificates, and this one's for SSTP, so I'll call it SSTP. So I'm just going to export this. There we go, and that's all set up in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy that one. I'm going to grab, just going to grab that folder. And then I'll copy it across. Which is going to not like at the moment, but I'm going to create a second video just finishing off these last few things. Okay, right, thanks.